and do the hunting and get the food for him. He loved Esau. So Esau is crying, saying, Dad, is there anything for me? Read.
Verse 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father?
He says, can you give us one blessing? Read.
Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
Thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. Now listen to this clearly. Go ahead.
And of the dew of heaven from above.
And the dew of heaven from above, to show you that they will be living in high habitation. High habitation. That's the mountains. You will get, okay, hold on, we'll make sure we got this. We don't want to break, we don't want to stop it now. We want to make sure we got everything here. One moment. We good? Mm-hmm. Okay. Finish reading. They with us. Come on.
Verse 40.
Go ahead.
And by thy sword shalt thou live.
And by thy sword shalt thou live. Which means they would need weaponry to have power in the earth. Now, that's common sense. If you have landmass that belong to you, there's no need to kill and steal to get land. That's common sense. So because Esau did not get the promises of the land of Canaan, by default he had to go into the land of Edom near the mountains, Mount Seir. So, and that's why the European powers used the sword and weaponry to take other countries. Even, I'm going to show you when they went in to Europe. The Caucasians weren't the people that originally had Europe. They took Europe eventually from the Asians or the Japhetic people. Finish reading.
And by thy sword shalt thou live.
Go ahead. By the sword shalt thou live.
And shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion.
He says, and then he told Esau, it's going to come a time that you will have dominion in the earth. So he was telling Esau that at one time, Esau would have a rulership. Now Esau is having rulership today, but he don't want to identify himself as Esau. Because if he identified himself as Esau, people would ask the question, what are you doing in Israel and why are we protecting you as the people that all the nations are going to come up against when you're not the people? Read.
And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Go ahead.
And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
And Esau hated his own brother after this. Then what did Esau say?
And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
So he said, he promised that one day he would kill his brother Jacob. That's the beginning of the war, brothers and sisters. That is the beginning of the war. Because of course, Esau wouldn't be able to destroy all the children of Jacob. But he would actually relay the plan down to his children, who would take on that banter and go against God's people. According to everything we've just went over, Esau is raging mad because his brother received the birthright. You have your Zondervan Bible Dictionary? Get Edom out of the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Please, brothers and sisters, write down all this information, precept upon precept, line upon line, and all the history we want to give you today. You'll have everything you need after the day to understand the war.
Edom. The nation and its people were the descendants of Esau.
Edom. The nation and its people were the descendants of Esau. Now don't forget it, tell you in Genesis 25, 2 nations shall be in thy womb. Read.
He founded the country, so his name is equated with Edom.
His name is equated to Edom. Now what does it say about Edom as far as landmass?
But the country was also called Seir, or Mount Seir, which was the name of the territory in which the Edomites lived.
Where did the Edomites live? In Mount Seir. We're going to show you that. This is I need you to go right here where it says Edom figures prominently in prophetic scriptures. What page are you on? There.
Page 142.
Page 142 in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. You read?
Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures.
Edom fared prominently in the prophetic scriptures. Read.
As the scene of great future judgments.
As the scene of great future judgments. To show you that Esau is still here. Read.
She is the only neighbor of the Israelites.
She's the only neighbor of the Israelites. Go ahead.
Who was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High.
She's the only nation that didn't receive any promise of mercy from the Most High. That's why it behooved any Edomite out there to follow the truth of Christ and steer away from all these religious and pagan rituals that you're dealing with and fall in the spirit of those who were learning under Paul. It behooves you. And not boast against the natural branches. You must get under the covenant to be protected, because I'll tell you, the future judgment is grim if you don't. So the prophecies are not just talking about a warning to the nations when it comes up to Israelites when it talks about the coming of Christ. God's people must warn all nations against the pending wrath to come. Let's go to Genesis 36 and show you how this war spread after Esau was dead. How did his children take up that banter against Israel to war against Israel? Read Genesis 36 and 1.
Genesis chapter 36 verse 1.
Go ahead.
Now these are the generations of Esau.
These are the generations of Esau. Read.
Esau, who is Edom.
Esau is who?
Who is Edom?
Esau is Edom. Read.
Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan. Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite.
Go down to the 10th verse.
Verse 10. These are the names of Esau's sons. Eliphaz, the son of Adah.
The 9th verse.
Verse 9. And these are the generations of Esau.
These are the generations of Esau. Read.
The father of the Edomites.
The father of the Edomites. That's a new nation that came in the earth after Jacob and Esau was born. You have the Ishmaelites now, you have the Israelites, and you have the Edomites. Okay? Now, I need you to go to Zepho in Genesis 36 so we can see who took on the banter against the children of Israel after Esau died, which is Eliphaz's son. Read.
Verse 11. And the sons of Eliphaz were
the sons of Eliphaz. Now, Eliphaz are whom we would call Amalek. Amalek today are the Khazarians, or the Jewish powers that lives in Israel today. They're the sons of Amalek. Of course they want to escape and lie to the people and say that they are Jews according to Judaism or religion. But you cannot become a nation based on religion conversion. You have to be born an Israelite. You can't be a religious Israelite. Okay, that's number one. Number two, they don't want you to know about Amalek because Amalek was the people whom the Most High told from the beginning to totally annihilate in the Old Testament, based on their constant, fervent spirit to destroy the children of Jacob. Amalek was warned against us in the past. Eliphaz is the father of these whom we speak. Read.
And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zapho,
who?
Zapho, and Gatam and Kenaz.
Now, let's examine Zapho. What happened to Zapho? How did the Europeans get into Europe? Zapho is the key. And how do we know this? We go into the book of Jasher. Let's go to the book of Jasher, the 60th chapter.
Jasher chapter 60 verse 1.
Read.
And when the year came round, being the 72nd year from the Israelites going down to Egypt.
The 72nd year from the time the Israelites went into Egypt. Now we're talking about approximately around the time of about 1912 BC. This is around the time 1912 BC that this happened. In Egypt at this time, you have Jacob, who had a dynasty during the Hyksos, and now our people are ruling in Egypt at this time, where Zapho came on the scene. Read.
And when the year came round, being the 72nd year from the Israelites going down to Egypt, after the death of Joseph.
After the death of Joseph, go ahead.
Zapho, the son of Eliphaz, the son of Esau, fled from Egypt, he and his men, and they went away. And he came to Africa, which is Dinhabah, to Angeas, king of Africa.
Now, mind you, Zapho was being held prisoner there because there was a war where Esau's sons was fighting against Jacob. And Zapho was taken captive into Egypt. Why? Because we were in a certain land, and Zapho and Esau's children tried to kill our people. So we took Zapho hostage in Egypt. He escaped. Then he goes into Africa. And what happens next? Go to verse 7.
And it came to pass in those days, there was in the land of Kittim a man in the city of Huzina, whose name was Uzu, and he became degenerately deified by the children of Kittim. And the man died and had no son, only one daughter whose name was Janiah. And the damsel was exceedingly beautiful, comely and intelligent. There was none seen like her for beauty and wisdom throughout the land.
Yeah, go down to where Zapho goes into Kittim.
Verse 14. And Angeas sent Lucas his brother, saying, Come to me.
Now we at Jasher, chapter again?
63.
Jasher 63, go ahead.
Verse 14.
Verse 14, read.
And Angeas sent Lucas his brother, saying, Come to me with all thy men, and help me smite Zapho, and all the children of Kittim, who have destroyed my men. And Lucas came with his whole army, a great force, to assist Angeas, his brother, to fight Zapho and the children of Kittim. And Zapho and the children of Kittim heard this thing, and they were greatly afraid, and terror fell upon them. And Zapho also sent a letter to the land of Edom, to Adad the son of Bedad, king of Edom, and to all the children of Esau, saying, I have heard that Angeas of Africa is coming to us with his brother for battle against us.
So the Africans was looking to fight against Chittim and Zapho, who was in league with Chittim